Hello guys, today we're going to see present perfect for or since and the present perfect continuous. Okay, so you have two topics, the present perfect using for or since, but also the present perfect continuous also using for or since. Okay, wow. The present perfect using for or since. We're going to use the present perfect that we have seen in the other class to talk about. We're going to use the present perfect with for or since with non-action verbs. Remember we talked about non-action verbs or stative verbs. For example, like, have, know, feel, think. To talk about something that has started in the past and is still true now. For example, they have known each other for 10 years. They met 10 years ago and they still know each other. The thing of the meeting, the verb met, okay, they known each other, they met, started in the past 10 years ago, but they still know each other today. That is the present perfect. And here we're using for 10 years. Okay, we're going to use how long and the present perfect to ask about an unfinished period of time. We're going to use for plus a period of time, for 2 weeks, okay? And we're going to use since with a point of the time, since 1990, okay? So I want you to notice the difference between a period of time, 2 weeks, okay? It started here and finishes here. That is a period of time. But a point in the time, it's, we have a period of time, and a point in the time, it's this, 1990. That is a point in the time. Okay, so that's the difference between one and the other. Don't use for or since with the simple present. Okay, the simple present. They know each other for a long time. No, they have known each other for a long time. That is the correct usage, okay, of present perfect with for or since. They have known each other for 10 years. Okay, we're going to use for because 10 years is a period of time. Julia has had that bag since she was in college. Okay, here she was in college. Okay, how long have you worked here since 1996? We use how long have you worked here because this person is still working there. Okay, is still working there. How long has your brother had this motorcycle? His brother still has the motorcycle. Okay, so it's something that started in the past and is still true now. Please remember to take notes of everything. And now, the present perfect continuous. Here we have some examples of the present perfect continuous. How do we use? Well, what is the structure? We're going to use has or has been plus the verb in ing because it is continuous. Everything or every structure that has continuous in it, or progressive, it means the ing. How long have you been learning English? Nick has been working here since April. They have been going out together for about 3 years. All of these actions are similar. We use the present perfect continuous with for and since with action verbs. Learn, work, go. To talk about when we use it when we talk about actions that started in the past and are still true now. Don't use the present continuous with for or since. The present continuous. We're going to use the present perfect continuous, yes. The present continuous, no. Okay? So all of the actions started in the past and are still true now. How long have you been learning English? Okay, remember that when we talk about the ing is that these actions are still in progress. Okay, so this person started learning English and is still learning English. Has been working, this person has started working since April and is still working, etc. Okay. We also use the present perfect continuous when we're talking about repeated actions that have been happening very recently. Okay, the actions have usually just finished. For example, your eyes are red. Have you been crying? Okay, so this action of crying just recently finished because your eyes are still red. Say, no, I've been cutting onions. So if you see in the picture, this person is still cutting onions. So all the actions, these are repeated actions that have been happening very recently. The actions have usually just finished. That's when we're going to use also the present perfect continuous. For this, we're going to use them for these two things. Okay? Then we have over here the structure. Okay? We have a chart with a structure. We're going to use have or has, been, and then the verb in ing. Okay? For affirmative sentences, for negative sentences, and this is for questions. Have you been working? Has she been working? Remember that we're going to use have or has depending on the person. Okay? And here you have a note about work and live. Work and live are used either in the present perfect or present perfect continuous with the same meaning. We have lived here since, we have been living here. We have worked, we have been working. It's usually the same meaning. And we have here two exercises, part A and part B. In part A, all of the sentences in part A have a mistake, and you have to correct these sentences. Harry is unemployed since last year. Okay, so here the mistake is, and you're going to change it for has been unemployed since last year. In number one, you say we have had our new apartment since 6 months. What is the incorrect word here? Since, exactly. Because since, well, 6 months, it's not a point in the past, it's a period. And for periods, we use, instead of since, we use for. So you're going to write the whole sentence again. All right? And each of the sentences has one mistake. And in part B, you're going to make sentences with the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. You're going to use for or since only if they're necessary. Okay? Preferably use the present perfect continuous. If you cannot use the present perfect continuous, then you're going to use the present perfect simple. Okay? I work for a charity 8 years. So you can say, I have worked for a charity for 8 years. Yes. But can you say it in present perfect continuous? Is it possible? Yes. So we're going to use preferably the present perfect continuous. I have been working for a charity for 8 years. ¿Ok? Sí lo pueden usar en present perfect, pero de preferencia dice que utilizar el present perfect continuous, si es posible, mejor. ¿Ok? And then you have this. You have questions, negatives, and positive, well, affirmative and negative sentences. We're going to check this in class. Bye-bye.